I've watched it grow since 2017. I mean, the quality of the horses have gotten a whole lot better. The sport's gotten bigger, a lot bigger. I mean, I just see nothing but good things ahead. You always had this couple standout horses that are winning a lot. Now you never ever show you go to, there's somebody different. It's changed a lot. It's a whole lot tougher sport than what it used to be. Every time he texts me, hey Billy, you know, this horse doesn't feel right. Let's have her looked at. We'd have her looked at. I think 9 times out of 10, most people would probably show her. His suggestion always is, let's do what's best for the horse. And I 100% support him every time he tells me that. You're really only as good as what your people are underneath you. You got great people, they make you look good. I'm not the smart one. I mean, you know, I may just steer that boat in the right direction, but really you're only as good as what all the people are underneath you. And I've learned that since day one, since the day I got in the concrete business. If you got people that don't care, they're never going to care. You ain't going to build it into them. They got to be careful from the get-go. Build that good, perfect team. And I've learned too that everybody's got to get along. You know, everybody's got to have the same goal or want the same for the company. And I tried to surround the best people.
Guys, thank y'all for coming back to 817 Podcast. Today I got a special guest, Mr. Billy Wolf. Billy's known in our industry as being one of the top owners. Austin Shepherd, Dual Rayish, Kittenish, Cade, and I mean, honestly, the list is a little long to be going down the list. But Billy, welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you for coming on.
You bet. Glad to be here.
Well, thank you. So let's just jump right into, we want to know a little backstory about who is Billy Wolf. Like, where'd you grow up? What'd you grow up doing? You know, I'd like to know a little bit more about you.
Well, I grew up in Whitesboro. I think I was born in Gainesville. We moved to Whitesboro. My dad had bought a dairy there in Whitesboro, and I grew up on the dairy.
So you grew up working?
I grew up working. A lot of hours. I knew I didn't want to continue to do that because I think he sold out on the dairy buyout when I was 15 years old. And that was probably the best day of my life because there was lots of hours. I mean, we got up early in the morning. I wouldn't know, just jump on the school bus, come home, go back in the house. It was all long mornings and all long evenings to help to get the dairy because back then you were lucky if you paid your bills by the milk bill.
Right.
So it was, we grew up there, and I got in the concrete. I laid brick for a little while, masonry, and then I went and got in the concrete business there local. And my dad, once we sold out, he got in the concrete business down in the Metroplex. He was running all dispatches for Lattimore Materials, and he got me in the concrete business there with a company called Tillstone. And I don't know, I worked there I think I started in 97, 98. I worked there about a year, started running that company. It was the largest here in the state of Texas.
And this is located in the Metroplex? Yeah,
this was located in Louisville. I think I worked for that company for 10 years, and I bought it in 2007. We expanded it quite a bit. When I first took it over, they were pretty deep in the hole, and we got them out. And I bought it in 2007. We grew it. We started a little bit of commercial, and I think we worked in Louisiana a little bit. Got bought out in 2017. Somebody approached us to buy it in 2017. I thought, well, you know, it'd be nice to retire. And so I worked for them a few more years after they bought us out. And now I'm back on just running cattle and running in the horse deal. And I think I work harder today now than I did when I was in the concrete business.
So it's funny because somebody asked me the other day, me and the guys, Taryn and Matt, were talking. I told them he was coming on, and they was pumped. And Taryn was like, hey, I want to know about this concrete. I'm like, concrete? I'm like, why the hell would I ask Billy Wolf about concrete? And he's like, well, hey, he was in the concrete business, all this. We got to talking about it. And I'm like, all this that I've known about Billy Wolf, I've never known about the concrete business. Yeah. So I was interested to hear about all that.
I started there, I don't know, when I was 18, 19 at the house. And, you know, up there local, we done everything the hard way.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know this sounds, you hear all the stories of walking uphill in the snow and all this stuff. Well, we didn't have no equipment. We did all of it by wheelbarrow. We wheelbarrowed the sand in the pads and built our pads, and it seemed like everything we did there was the hard way. And I think I worked there for 2 years. Started to work 2 summers and then worked there about a year and a half. You know, I thought, you know, when I come down one day, we worked with my dad and we went around some job sites. I saw how much different these guys were doing things, and it's a lot easier. So I thought, I wouldn't mind getting deeper in this a little bit, make a career out of it, because I love doing it.
Right.
It's taking something from nothing to making something of it. And I fell in love with it.
And two, you get to see a lot of reward when the job is done. You can see it there.
Well, what I got to love was you'd start out with streets and all that, and I worked for D.R. Horton, which we worked for about 19 or 20 different builders. But I worked for D.R. Horton, and I loved it. I loved the Hortons. I got to know them very well. They go in and mass produce everything. I mean, we would go in, we'd have a subdivision, they'd build 80 lots, and we'd set 50 of them in a day.
They'd want to do them today.
And in a month, we poured all the slabs. And I love that because I just love, I just see the production, see it all pan out. And we started from there, and it just grew and grew. And when I think the last couple of years that I owned it, we were doing about 1,000 slabs a month.
That's pretty neat.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It was a lot, but I loved it. And, I don't know what happened. I traveled towards the end of me owning the company. I went with a lot of stock shows with my kids. They were in stock shows and stuff. So I was gone, I don't know, say months or 6 weeks, chasing them up and down the road. And I just kind of didn't love it anymore. So
right.
I told myself if I ever didn't love anything, I wasn't going to do it. And we decided to sell it. Some of them stayed on, and I was going to stay on, and COVID hit, and I'm more of a hands-on person. I want to see everybody every day. And that new company they did their different ways, and I just didn't.
Well, and that's how you grew it, though.
Yes, sir.
Seeing everybody every day. And that brings me to my next question is, what got you, so after you sell the concrete business, had you dabbled in the horses before all this, or when did the horses come into play?
I bought, let's see, I don't hold me to these dates, but I think I bought Dulresh maybe the July of 2017, and we'd bought it in July 2017, and I think we showed him at the Futurity that year. So I think I just had sold my company, and we showed him the Futurity of 2017. I think it's your
wow.
Yeah.
So I remember, and I feel like we were at the BI, but I remember watching Big A work Dulresh as a 3-year-old, and I'm wanting to say,
so if that's the case, then we bought him in March. We must have bought him at the Super Stakes then.
I'm wanting to say the BI. It may not have been the BI.
It may have.
But when he worked him, I thought, holy crap, this is a nice horse. And then later on, and then it was so how did you meet Austin? How did all that come about? And for anybody listening that doesn't know, Dulresh, which we'll get to that, won the Futurity, Billy Wolf stud. You can still breed to him today. He's a great young sire, doing a lot. But anyways, how did all that come about?
I'd known Don Ham, and Don Ham's boy Dustin worked for me, helping us out with the stock show stuff, and he helped my boys out a lot. And I was there one night, and I'm gonna say, I don't remember, Highbrow Cedar or Highbrow Cat won the Futurity. And I told Don, we were buying pigs online at his house, and I said, man, if you ever come across one like that, I said, that thing was a man amongst boys in the Futurity. I said, he
caught your eye.
Oh, yeah. So I said, I'd be interested in one. Well, they showed me probably 20, 30 horses, maybe more. I think I've said 60 at one time, but I don't think it's quite 60, but they showed
a lot of horses.
There's a lot of horses. And I didn't see the athleticism in all those horses that I saw that night. I thought, Don had said Austin tried this horse, Dulresh, for I think it was Mr. Colgrove, and had a little minor chip in his hock or something real minor. Well, I'd done my homework, checked out with a couple of vets that I knew, and they was like, well, that's not a big deal. It's not that big a deal. But I think Mr. Joel had some problems with it or something. But anyway, long story short, they sent me a video of him, and
he caught
my eye. And from there, we went, I told him, I said, yeah, I don't remember that time. I don't remember what the price was, but I said, yeah, I'll do that, no problem. Don said, well, I'll throw my commission in if you'll take. Austin wasn't wanting to go home with him. Yeah. So that's how we made it happen. And I never even met Austin. I'd got a couple of videos of it.
Right.
During pre-working and stuff.
But you met him at the Futurity, right?
Semifinals night.
The semifinals.
Yeah, my daughter got sick with salmonella and then turned to some other stuff, and she'd been in the hospital for 2 or 3 weeks. And I wasn't able to go to the first couple of rounds. I watched it, but I wasn't able to go. But I met him semifinals tonight, I think.
That's pretty incredible. And I remember that because I remember Austin being like, how cool is this? And I remember him saying right off the bat, like, man, this guy seems so awesome. And now to see you sitting across the table from us, and not only did Dre work out, win the Futurity, that was incredible. I'm sure you were just like, what did that feel like coming to, I guess, your first cut and owning a horse?
You know, it was all great, but it didn't really hit like it would have today. I mean, back then,
absolutely, you didn't know nothing.
I wasn't really true. I guess I wouldn't say I really wasn't invested that much in it. I mean,
you were invested.
The horse. I was invested, but money-wise, but I wasn't personality-wise. I mean, or at the shows, I don't know that I've missed any time that Austin showed. I don't know that I've missed I could probably count.
Right. Oh, I've seen you at everywhere we go.
I could count on my hands just about the shows that I missed. But I love it. I mean, I got involved in it after that. So,
and like you said, you like to see everybody every day.
Yes,
and now it's turned into one of the greatest programs in our industry.
I look forward to going. Austin hadn't been to, he went to Georgia. I wasn't able to go to Georgia. Had something going this year. It's the first year I've missed Georgia. And that's since Dual Race. I've been to Perry and
several
years, and I don't think I've been to a show since December, so I'm going to Cattleman's.
Yes,
but I like to go. I mean, I even just went this weekend, spent the whole weekend at Blue Ridge,
Right.
So.
Oh, it's something to watch. And we have such a, well, this is why I love having you in here. We got such a great community in our cutting and tied to so many people like y'all, just like you coming into our sport. Now you're you own so many great horses in our industry, but now when you go to a cutting, you see that brand on a lot of horses.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
Pretty neat to see. So with Dual Race, that started just a huge thing, didn't it? I mean,
sir.
That was the start to to all of it.
Going to the brand deal, I like to see somebody win on a horse that I've raised just as much as I want to see one that I've got still owned and raised.
Right.
I mean, I scroll down through the draws and I mark my sheets and I get all my stuff, where I want to watch, and I like to watch all the horses because I'm looking to, now I'm kind of taking the avenue of breeding something different or trying to figure out something different. I'm always trying to figure out what I'm going to make the next move on.
Well, speaking of breeding, what about Kitnish? Let's bring her up a little bit.
Yeah.
You own, in my eyes, the greatest horse I've ever seen. I've been lucky enough to get to turn back for her several times, and it's a feeling just being in the pen when she goes is insane. A lot of people think that it's a lot of nerves to help Austin on her, and it's not. You really end up not moving. Like all those great runs, you're kind of like, well, luckily I got a front row seat at this, but she's now won over $1 million, and literally just yesterday winning checks everywhere she goes. But how cool is that?
It's a feeling that I don't know that I can even, that anybody could even understand. That is, I think she's the greatest mare that I've seen during my time, or greatest horse during I've seen my time. I mean, she allows you to have a lot of confidence, like you said, sit up front row and not have to move. I mean, I know when I'm going to a show, she may have spoiled me, because I know when I'm going to a show, she's most time going to be.
You're going to win.
You're either going to be in the winners, you're going to be in the finals, and if cows play out right and everything plays out right, you're going to win. And that's something I probably took her for granted for the time that she was showing. Now, I've had to kind of rewire myself the last couple of months, going, well, she's not going to be there when I go this time. She's not going to be there, but she is something special. I mean, she can make a bad cow look good. I mean, she's
incredible.
Unreal. I mean, she just.
So what's the future look like for her? Obviously, as a broodmare, the options are limitless, but what do y'all got on the table?
I have, I think we have 3 Stevies out of her. Austin has one, and I have a counting checks. These will all be yearlings this year. We have I'm counting checks. I think we have smooth talking style. We have, coming this year, we've got a couple lone wolves. I've got a sugar daddy, third edge. The lone wolf and third edge out of her or something
Boy,
else.
they
I
look-
mean, I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying this, but if you were to come to my place and you were to walk out in that yearling pen, you would find 4 or 5 of those. They would be in your top. You would find 3 or 4 of them in your top 5.
Wow.
Very impressive looking. I mean, I'm excited. Shelby Skitty is the all-time greatest
She
mare
is
winner,
it.
but I'll tell you, you wouldn't be able to pick her babies out. They all mature later. Seems like they mature later. These things, the lone wolf we had born and the third edge or something, they may be the best looking babies I've ever foaled.
That's pretty awesome to hear. Me and Taryn and Matt were talking about it the other day. We seen some third edges. Looked incredible.
Yes, sir.
I haven't got to see that many lone wolves, but we did breed to him.
Yes, sir.
So I'm excited to see all that. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear too. And just off that horse, Lone Wolf, that's another horse there's so many horses out there through your genetics now. Is it not crazy to see that in really a short amount of time? Would you say 2017? Here we are, not even 10 years later, and man, that Wolf brand, it has a lot behind it.
Yes, sir. It was fun winning the Futurity, and then I set out a goal one to raise one to win the Futurity, and I know that's crazy high expectations, but once we got Lone Wolf working around the round pen, Wesley had come by the house and looked at him, and he said, "I gotta leave the house. I'm want to leave.
He's mine.
You're also
Yeah, he's mine."
So we went from there, but it's exciting. I mean, only thing on my breeding program part of it is I bred pretty heavily to both of them. And now I've got to let all these daughters come in and all this stuff, and so I'm having to kind of wing out and breed to a lot of different other studs now, just to breed to the sisters and stuff.
That's pretty neat.
Yes,
that's
sir.
pretty neat. And 2 horse of the year.
Yes, sir.
Rolls A.
Yes, sir.
And to me, I call her Mini Kitty. Like she's like a mini kitten.
Little purr.
She is a little purr, right?
Yes.
It's the first
She's
time
little,
I turned
she's
back
got the biggest heart there is out there.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And the more I got to turn back for her through right after the Futurity on a few shows, I was like, man, this mare's great too. Like I always loved her, obviously, since the Futurity, but like you said, you get spoiled watching Big A on Big Purr. She's just different. I mean, there's not many of those out there that come across the line that are at that stage, and boy, she sets it herself. But boy, this Rolls A is awesome too.
Yes, sir.
And what's it like? I know Big A and Cade and Wesley, everybody's a big part of your program, but what's it like being with Big A and Cade? To me, I grew up under Buster's wing, and he always told me if you wanted to watch greatness or the best, watch Big A the minute he leaves his camper to the minute he gets back in it. And he said that's how you win at life or in cutting. And it's cool to see y'all come together because that's 2 to me of the elites. That can't be stopped.
I don't know if I don't know a whole lot of the trainers personally, but I've got to be. Austin's one of my really good friends now. I mean, we talk daily. If we don't talk daily, we talk several times a day. He's as good as they come. I've leaned on him, and he's as big a part of this, if not anybody. Myself, he's just as big a part as myself. I run a lot of breeding stuff past him. I run a lot of stuff past him, and I trust him 100%. If he tells me, "Hey, Billy, we need to look at this horse in the Futurity this year, a 2-year-old in the Futurity this year," I take it and roll with it. I don't know, we go with it. Now I did pick out Rose. They liked her. If you saw her the first time she ever worked, you wouldn't have bought her. But I saw her the first time. The second time we saw her work, you probably wouldn't have bought her. She just was a little wild, a little this. And I saw a very, very, very good horse the first day I saw her. I mean, I know there is a very good horse in there. So, but I run everything past him, and we go in for family, and I mean everything. He's just as well-rounded as you can possibly get somebody, I think, in the business.
Absolutely. I agree. Man, that's so awesome. And so what's a day in the life of Billy, just on a Monday morning? What do you got going now? I know, gosh, you got to be busy with just the breeding side of things that you've got at your house, but you do lots of hay. Your kids are very involved in all kinds of agriculture thing. Like I I talked to Colt, keep up with him some. What all's going on in the Billy Wolf life?
I just try to keep the boat steered going forward and make sure it doesn't veer off their right. I mean, we got all the breeding going on this time of the year. It's going every which different direction. We got a bunch of babies being born. We're just now started bringing our yearlings in, working with our yearlings. I spend a little bit of time with that every morning. Then I go out and I'm either feeding cows or, we're moving cows or doing something with the cattle. I mean, we put a lot of calves on feed too, not just we do ours, and then some of we buy some. And we've got, I don't know, we maybe run possibly not a lot, but 1,500 yearlings last year. And I've gotten a little bit into where I'm sending cattle to a few people, a few cutters, a few reining cow horse people.
Yes, sir.
That kind of takes up the first parts of the end of the year and then first part of the year. And then we kind of move into I try to get all my breeding done as quick as I can, get it over with. Cause then starting, this week we sprayed probably a couple thousand acres of, our hay fields to pre-merge them and stuff, getting all that rolling. Then next thing you know, it will be cutting in May, and that goes all the way till September, October. And
people are just bugging you.
Yes,
hey, deliver me a trailer here or there.
Yeah, we've got a good hay business. I think we delivered over 500 semi-loads last year between the alfalfa and the coastal. But our main source there we do ourselves is coastal at home. Chasing these kids around. I got Colt works for me. My other boy works for my ex company, the concrete company, and I got a middle kids. I got Chesney and Corbin. They're both in med school at Clemson and Tulane. And then I got my daughter still in high school, and she's got events everywhere. She plays select volleyball and something all the time. But
and that's something else I've seen. You're very involved in sports and with your kid. It's cool to me to see how you make it all work and gel. And I'm big into sport. I love to watch Mavericks basketball. And the first time I remember we were at a game, and you come up on the big screen, and I'm like, there's Billy Wolf over there sitting there. That's pretty neat. I do love to go
to the Maverick game.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
Yes, sir.
That Cooper Flagg don't play either, does he?
He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
He is something.
He's the real.
He's the real deal.
Yes, sir.
So what's your take on losing Luca? I got to ask that.
I didn't like it. I mean, I don't think we got enough value for what we lost.
What we had, right.
I love Luca, but there's one part I don't like about him. I hate the whining. The whining part of it. I mean, he does whine. He does a little bit. Let's go a lot. But I loved watching him play. I actually been going to Maverick games since, I don't know, I guess whenever I was in the concrete business, we went quite a bit.
So you're a Dirk fan?
Yeah, I'm a Dirk fan. I was there whenever they won the championship.
So you got to see all the good stuff.
I used to have tickets right where the Mavericks used to run out on the opposite side, come out in the tunnel. I used to have tickets right there at the deal. We got to sign all the birthday cards. And all that stuff.
Sweet.
But it was always a good time.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Now I can afford a little bit better tickets and afford a little bit better seating, so we can sit anywhere.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And there is a different experience when you're down there.
Yes, sir.
My wife loves them, and I bought her some tickets down there once, and we sat right in front of Dirk's wife.
Yes, sir.
And it was the first game that Luca played, and Dirk. It was pretty neat because obviously, you know me, I get to talking to anybody, but they were the coolest people I think I'd ever met, and you wouldn't have known in a million years it was Dirk's wife. She was a tall, beautiful woman, but just talked to us and I didn't know until he come over there, and I told Shy, I'm like, we've been talking to Dirk Nowitzki's wife this whole time.
Yeah, that's the seats we get now is about mid-court on the opposite side. Patrick Mahomes is sitting there several times last year. Dirk sat with, I don't know how many kids he's got, but he had
bunch
several.
Of them. I seen him over by y'all.
Yes, sir.
That's where I seen him over by y'all.
He was sitting in front of us and had his kids there. I went twice this year, and they say I don't know if the new Mavericks owner has a brother. They said it possibly was a brother, but it looks just like him. But
really?
they sat in front of us a couple times there. But it's good. I get it. I kind of get adrenaline rush down low. Down with that.
It is. Man,
nobody realizes how fast that game moves.
And how big close. Them guys are.
Yes.
I mean, they make me look like a shrimp. In fact, Dirk's wife, was so much taller. I mean, I thought, and then when he come up, I
Yeah.
thought, man, you need
Well,
a water,
I thought about
popcorn. What do you need?
Yeah, I thought about look at those kids. Those kids look young, but they're all tall.
They're huge.
Yeah.
You're right.
Maybe more basketball players in the making.
That's right. That would be nice for Dallas. Cooper's going to need a little help.
Yep.
So you said you're easing over to Graham to the Cattlemen's. We got that. I seen Big A's been down here. Him and Cade.
Yes, sir.
They're fired up, and they've been winning at Blue Ridge and Silverado. I've been watching. So that's exciting.
Yes, sir.
What do you have for the future? I know 2-year-olds, and where do you see our industry right now? The horse industry is just on fire. I feel like in every event, from the cutting, roping, reining, all of it. Boy, to get a good horse, horses are a necessity right now, wouldn't you say? Or where do you see the future of our industry going?
I mean, it seems. I mean, I've watched it grow since 2017. I mean, the quality of the horses have gotten a whole lot better. The sport's gotten bigger, a lot bigger. I see it. I mean, I just see nothing but good things ahead. Some of the right things have come in to help it grow, and it's grown. I mean, everybody's always looking for a horse. I mean, my phone rings
all
10 times a week looking for a horse. And it's just, I see nothing but great things coming.
That's so awesome. And maybe say something out there for a listener that maybe wants a horse, a new customer that's coming in. What would you say to somebody that's coming in that wants to get in, that maybe doesn't know anybody or needs help getting in?
I would tell him, my advice for them, tell them to go find the best person possibly they could find. If it takes going through 10 different people or 10 different conversations with people, go find somebody you can trust and, get out there and get you a good one. I mean, anybody can go buy a horse. I mean, I could go buy 1,500 tomorrow, but the horse or a very competitive horse is hard to find or hard to trust to get somebody to get you, go find one. Just find the right person and roll with it.
That's awesome. And I agree with you. I tell people all the time, they call and, hey, will you ride this horse? We're looking for a trainer. Well, yes, I'll ride it for a minute, but you may not like it here. You know what I mean? It may not fit your needs. And I tell them all the time, hey, find somebody that fits what you want to do and that you're comfortable with, and y'all can get on the same page and roll with it.
And there's every different type of trainer. I mean,
there's
right. Every different type of trainer that can fit everybody's needs. I mean, so you're right. Some people don't fit somebody's needs. Some people want to go show in the open. Some people want to, carry over a few non-pros, and then some people carry on to the amateurs. I mean, you just got to find that right person to fill your needs.
That's so awesome. And so, like, when you got started in everything that you do and all the businesses, it's not all easy street, is it?
No, I thought it was. I thought it was real easy when I got in this cutting. I mean, 2017, I led the round, led the semis, and won the finals. And I thought, damn, this thing's easy. And I had good draws. I don't know that I think we had the same draw just about all four of them. We may have been fourth in each set, and that makes a big difference. I thought, this thing's a piece of cake. I thought, well, maybe it's rigged, but, not rigged, but you know what I mean?
Absolutely. You were new to the sport.
Now,
and you're like,
that next year starts, and I think I bought another horse or two. I don't remember. Bought another horse or two, and there's lots of highs and lots of lows. I mean, it's just part of it. You got to be able to take the good with the bad and roll with it.
So I'm going to bring up a story you just said, lots of highs and lows. And this is a Big A story, but literally a year or two later, when did he have Cutest Desires? A few years later.
It would have been, she's 6 now. So
what round was it he had his wreck in at the Futurity? Was it the semis or the second round?
One of those.
Anyways, it happened. And I remember all of us, obviously, we were, checking on him and the horse, making sure everybody was good. And I just remember his face, and he said something that stuck with me. And he goes, I said, Big A, you all right? He said, yeah, I'm fine. And he just looked disgusted, like something was wrong, and he said, I hate it that we wasted that mare right there. He said, this is a good mare. And he said, I hated that something like that happened.
Yeah.
Because he's like, dadgummit, I had her ready here. And
well, I watched her during the pre-works. She was
ready.
Legit.
She was
ready.
She was legit. And to hear him say that, and I thought, all this that just happened, and his thought, this is why I think Big A is such an awesome sport for our sport, but it was for the horse, it wasn't,
sure.
There was nothing on him at that moment. He was pure disgusted of that happened for the horse. He was like, she deserved this better. And that always stuck with me. And I thought, man, everybody always sees Billy Wolf winning and Austin winning, but they don't see some of that, that like Big A was disgusted, he wanted to have that win.
Yes, sir.
And I thought that was pretty neat.
It was a bad situation. But from my end, for the whole, I felt bad for Big A. He had worked so hard on that horse, and it just, some of them happen, some of them don't. Some, it may happen for a reason. You never know. I don't know that she's been the same horse since. I think she's a little skittish now. I bring her to the house, and she seems just the same. But it happens. I mean, just because you buy them at a 2-year-old day that they're the best horse that day, don't mean that when they go to the Fury they're going to be the best horse that day.
Right. Much changes.
So much changes. I mean,
and
horse,
so much goes into it.
You don't never know what's going wrong with one of them. I mean, but I will tell you this: is talking about Big A and being always about the horse. Every time he texts me, "Hey Billy, this horse doesn't feel right. Let's have her looked at." We'd have her looked at. Well, I think 9 times out of 10, most people would probably show her. His suggestion always is, let's do what's best for the horse. And I 100% support him every time he tells me that. Every time.
And to me, that's why y'all are winners.
Yeah. I mean, like, Rose, she a little sore in the front or something. We didn't show her at Blue Ridge. He wanted Charlie to look at her. You probably could show her to Cattleman's. He said, no, let's do what's best for the horse. So we chose not to show her to Cattleman's.
Yeah, there's nothing left for her to prove.
No.
And why tear her up if...
Well, I would do that same with any horse.
That's what I mean. Even if she hadn't won.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And that's pretty neat. And I think that's huge for people to hear on this, because there is a lot of people as a trainer that I've rode for that you'd be like, hey, this isn't right. Someone wants you to push through, and it's at our level, you're not going to compete with these guys behind the mark, in my opinion. They're too good.
I agree.
That's pretty neat. Well, man, I love the story of the horses and stuff, and just the success story of how you totally jumped into this in 2017, met the right people, and now have built it into a huge business. I mean, if you want a cutting horse, look up Billy Wolf. He's got them for sale all the time, any ages. I mean, and they're the best genetics. I mean, seriously, you've done as much homework as far as that goes. I mean, your broodmare band is unbelievable. I mean, it's a who's who of cutting.
Yes, sir.
And that's pretty neat. And it's neat that you get to breed them to your own studs, too. Sir. Walk us through that side of things. Like the breeding is so different than the showing, and there's so much goes into getting these babies to a trainer to get trained to the Futurity. I mean, so many people don't understand how much it takes to get there.
And I would agree with that. There is a lot that goes into it. When I first got into it, the night that we won the Futurity, I bought a little Raylina. First 2 or 3 years of breeding with her was like a piece of cake. We popped embryos out and they worked, and we rolled. Bought Showbiz Kitty right after that. Had to twist over Royce's arm several times to try to buy her, but we finally got her bought. I think it was maybe it was Rolls Royce or Bad Boons Horizon. I saw a couple of times. I thought, if that's her offspring, I want to own that mare. So I went out, and Dawn went out and bent Royce's arm 2 or 3 times, and we finally got her bought. And same with her, Clockwork, kicking them out. Gets first year Showbiz Kitty's babies, and Reset mare kicks one of the babies out of Dre. Probably the best looking baby at the time that I'd ever foaled, which wasn't a lot, but this thing looked special. Reset mare kicked it, broke its neck, and you don't see those kind of things. So then I expand a little more and start a little more breeding, but I've kind of got to the point now where I've got so many. I was looking up on the way down here. I think I've got 10 brood mares, and then 8 mares that are in the show to string. You got to kind of roll yourself back in a little bit, because the expense, can get on up there. I mean, you don't realize I do. I try to. Austin gives me the mares from November to basically January, the show mares, and we get what little we can out of them, and then we basically do ICSI on them at that time of the year, and then a lot of our show mares we'll just get embryos out of, but kind of got to roll yourself in, because I think I had at one time 150 frozen embryos, and you want to go, let's go put them all in, but then that creates I've create recips and the breeding part of it and the whole part of it. I mean, last year I had really good success with putting in ICSIs. We put a bunch in during a cold spell, didn't work as well. So I've kind of learned from that. And I thought, I start trying to figure out the weather pattern, because I think it has a lot to do with it. And I know a lot of people don't probably think about that, but as soon as February 1 hit this year, we had that big freeze and stuff. And I told all my
no breeding this week.
No breeding this week, or no putting no embryos in. Let's let it warm back up, because the years before, and then I don't know, the year before that, I guess it'd been 2023. We put a bunch in the second or third week, and then we got that big freeze and stuff. So it's and then 5 or 6 years ago we had that big freeze, and I lost not several, but we lost 3 or 4 in the reset mares in the pasture. So this year I brought them all in. I brought all my reset mares and put them all in the barn, because I didn't want to have that happen again, because you work too hard to get them in the mares.
Yeah, and it's a huge investment.
It's a huge investment. People don't really realize what kind of money you do spend. And I mean, some of them do. Some of the smaller breeders do, and they're like, "Ooh, we can't." If it doesn't turn out, everything does working their way. It's tough. But just getting them to weaning age is tough. I have a very good foaling out system. We foal them all out the house there. We've maybe lost one in the last 3 years of foaling out. Had a couple lost last year due to fertilizer. Nobody realized fertilizer, if you turn those babies out before 10 days, we had a little fertilizer issue.
Wow.
But it's tough to.
That's good knowledge to have on here.
Well, I mean, the fertilizer deal was we'd fertilize big time before rain, like in March or April. And we never turn those babies out before day 10. Well, we decided to turn out 5 or 6 of them, because we had more coming in to foal out. And we'd fertilize big, and had a 2 or 3 inch rain and all that water run off. And I guess that's the nitrogen of it. The baby got too much nitrogen in the system from the mama.
Wow.
And we caught 4 of them. 2 of them didn't make it. I took 2 to the vet, and Greg Veniclaus, I'd called him. Nobody ever said, well, it's probably rodent from hay or something. They had 4 or 5 different things. And I called Greg Veniclaus, and Greg Veniclaus told me there's medicine, I don't know, something B. And he said it's a reverse effect on nitrogen. And these babies were basically
messed up.
Well, they were helpless. And they give them a shot of that, whatever that was, that reverse nitrogen.
Revive.
Yeah, and 100%, they were up sucking them in 5 minutes.
Wow.
So anyway, but it takes a lot to get a lot, and there's lots of different things. I mean, getting kicked, getting stepped on, getting whatever.
Yes, all the things.
All the things. And, once you get them to yearlings, it's pretty much, you've gotten over the
past the hard part.
Got them over the hard part, and then that's probably, I know, I used to love to want to know what the babies were. So sometimes I'd check, see what the babies were, but that took the fun out of it. So, but my most interesting part of it now is the yearlings. I love to watch them in the round pens. I know people probably got every different way in the world they want to look at a yearling, but if a horse can't move, he ain't gonna move.
He can't move.
I mean,
right.
If he's athletic and can move in there and move off that hip, and use head and neck move, spread them feet apart. I mean, you can't. Some of that stuff you can teach a horse, but there's not some of the athletic ability you can teach in one. But I spend a lot of time from I'd say, I don't know, maybe April, May till October, and I watch those horses several times in a round pen.
They change so much as yearlings.
Yes,
I think that's so neat. Like the first of the year to when we're selling them.
Some of the horses I like the least at the beginning of April, April and May, come around October.
You're like, hey,
that horse has become. He's got progressively gotten better every single time I watch him.
They grow into themselves, and
yes,
boy,
sir.
they start showing you what they are.
Yes, sir.
And that takes a special eye. And there are so many special people in our industry. I mean, just like Big A, it's amazing what he sees when he looks at a horse.
Yes, sir.
And I even heard Jeremy Barwick say this one time. He was at my house, and they were leading a horse up, And he said, "That's a good horse. I like that horse." I'm like, "Well, you ain't never even seen me work that horse." He said, "Well, if you watch," he said, you can tell a good horse by the way they walk."
Yeah.
And ever since he said that, you know, obviously when you watch a great horse walk by, you're like, "God, he's right. That horse walks different."
He does walk different. Well, that's kind of like an athlete.
Yes.
You know, same as an athlete.
I mean, I know you think I look like a big, strapping, beautiful guy, but you're not going to pick me for the track meet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're right. Them horses moving around, it makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of it. I mean, I love to watch. I know a lot of people, when I first started this business, I heard this breeding and this breeding and this breeding. I'm like, I don't care nothing about all that. Well, it's a very big key part today, but you know, I don't get too caught up on the breeding part of it. I know a lot of people do. You know, which I guess I could say I do on the broodmare end, but
right.
You know, sometimes matches just work up. I mean, I don't. Whenever I get ready to decide what I'm going to keep, I really don't know till October or whenever you got to enter the sale, and then I wished I wouldn't have sold them, or you know, and then I wished I would have kept some myself. But I mean, I don't keep all the best bred ones every time. You know, I keep just whatever I think is athletic. And, you know, sometimes, I mean, I was after keeping an Art Caddy Duel because she passed away this year. So I was after keeping a good mare. I'm always after a keeper replacement, thinking if something happens to this mare today, I've got a daughter of her that's pretty good. And being in the livestock business, pig business, you know, we never kept the show winner. We always looked for the one that sold. The broodmare. That's the one that sold, and I always kept the lesser, plainer one, you know, to breed on. And that's kind of the way I've looked at it in this deal. You know, I just do you have ones that you like better breeding wise? Other than yes, probably so, but that doesn't take in what I keep and don't keep unless I'm after just keeping a mare out of a good broodmare. Right.
So, and that is important, looking for the individual, like you said, because they can't read their papers. But and their mama or daddies, one of them were great, but wasn't before at some point. So that's pretty neat.
Yes, sir.
So speaking of the stock show and growing up showing pigs and all the things, stock show, I don't know what y'all showed, but how does that play into this? Because I never really stock showed, but I was around a bunch of it growing up, and boy, they're sticklers on.
Yeah, it was tough. That side of the business. I mean, both of my oldest boys showed quite a bit. We showed at Louisville, we showed at the Expo, we showed at Denver, we showed at Arizona, we showed at
and had some success.
We won the Expo, we won the Louisville, we've won Denver. We may reserve Denver. We're high placings in Arizona. We won Fort Worth. We won San Antonio. He won Houston, and we won Austin. So and all the majors we won, and then they jackpotted every weekend.
Everywhere
they would go Friday through Sunday, and we'd go Friday through Sunday. But you know, it's a lot like it. I mean, you know, I was in the cattle deal there for a good little bit. It's they relate a lot. I mean, a good animal
takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time, but a good animal stands out no matter what the species is. I mean, you can go pick a calf out. In same way the horse, you see a horse, oh, and that thing catches your eye. It's the same way in the cattle deal, and the same way the pig deal. I can go look at 150 pigs, and you can find that.
Hey, that's a good pig right there.
Yeah, you know, it's the same way. It's about the same way. They got to be built about the same. They got to be able to function. They got to be able to. I mean, everything has to work just kind of exactly the same way in the horse business.
That's super cool. I
mean, if they ain't built good, they don't work good most time.
Right.
You know. So
well, and too, just that eye appeal when you first, like, I love going to the sales, the Western Bloodstock sales. They sell so many during the Futurity, but I love walking down through there, and I've done it both ways. Mark them in the book first off of pedigrees and then go look. I like to go look first and see stuff that catches my eye that I like, hey, I want to ride that.
Oh, yeah.
And then do my homework after that. But it's a tough deal because there's so much goes into that cell fitting and them yearlings.
Yes, sure.
And what about that? Do you cell fit a bunch of your yearlings and stuff? Y'all do them there in house, right?
Yes, sir. We do all our own cell fitting there. We built a barn probably 3 or 4 years ago, and since then I've added to it. So I can hold up to about 40 now, and we had it full this year. I self-hitted a couple for Big A and my cousin, and but there's a lot that goes into that. But I used to do the same thing you used to do. I used to go down because I didn't know the breedings. I'd walk all those aisles, and one caught my eye. But you kind of catch yourself sometimes that if you go to the mark and all those things. That's what I do now is I'll mark them by the breeding and go look. And your idea is probably better than mine because marking, they don't sometimes fall out to be the way that you think. You get your heart set on one.
You
Man,
do.
this is the one. And you get out there looking, I don't know, he kind of runs downhill a little bit, toes out a little bit in the front or something, just so it's best to always take a peek at them first.
Right. I love that. Well, and I see y'all during the sales, you and Big A and Cade, and I see y'all before out at some places always doing your homework. And I think that's super neat too, because I mean, obviously I love seeing y'all because I always feel like I'm on the pretty right track.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, dadgummit, here comes Billy and Big A.
Yeah. Well, my goal was always not have to buy many at the sale, but I get down there and I just get the fit.
It's hard, isn't it?
I went this year and Big A said, Billy, we got a great set of 2-year-olds this year. We don't know if we need any horses. Get down there and buy one. Grant's going to want to ride that mare for me. And get down there and I don't need yearlings. I mean, I just sold 25 of them. I don't need them. I get down there and I fell in love with a couple, and I go from there. I mean, that probably better that I probably wouldn't go sometimes, but
right.
Anyway, I had a great sale this year and I purchased a couple of good ones out there.
Well, you did have some really good ones.
Yes, sir.
That's exciting. And what about, let's see here. I had something I was wanting to bring up. Anything random you want to talk about?
I'm all game.
I'm trying to think of what I was wanting to bring up. I had a cool story. I thought it was a cool story, but I'm struggling to remember it.
Wait till you get older.
It gets worse.
It's bad.
And Kay, what do they got for 3-year-olds this year? I've seen some videos.
Yeah,
and I told Cade after I seen the videos, we were sharing back and forth, and he said, "Yeah, we went over to so and so's to work some fresh cows on these 3-year-olds." And I said, "Don't lie to me. I know y'all are showing them next week."
Yeah,
they looked amazing.
Yeah, well, I've got a Stevie on Showbiz Kitty, and I sold half of her to Therium.
Yep.
So she's at Austin's. I have a Dre Showbiz Kitty that's at Austin's, and the Chet Seminole 2-year-old trained. And then I've got we have a full brother to Rolls Royce.
Oh, that's neat.
Very, very, I mean, all three of those are very, very good horses. We have a Dre on Broken Halos at Austin's.
Oh, yeah, the big roan mare.
Yeah, the big roan, he's a stud.
Yeah.
We have got another one there too. I'm not sure which one it was, but anyway, I love old Lefty. Lefty, I don't know if you know Lefty that works for Grant.
Absolutely.
He's
Lefty
got one.
Billingsley.
Yeah, Lefty Billingsley. I got a Plamus Boonsball test for him.
She was one of my maybe. She is actually not kind of. She is one of my favorite all-time mares. I used to love to watch this Eddie Flynn on that mare.
Yeah, we that mare that 2-year-old or 3-year-old now he has is
good horse.
Legit. And then I bought the mare from who was it in this old sale? Shane Carlin. I bought that mare. Grant's going to ride that one.
Oh, the Metallic Cat,
yeah,
right?
The Metallic Cat mare.
Nice horse. Boy, Shane's done a great job.
So I had a little bit of we didn't have as many horses this year in the Futurity, and Kate had some bad luck. Austin caught a bad group of cows. Nobody in that set did good, but
gosh, I think
I think we got a pretty good rank set coming this year. I'm excited about them. So now it's some bit.
They are ranked.
Big A has a rank set from. He got 10 horses that he could show its Futurity, so he got a lot of tough decisions to make. But we got a pretty good set of 2-year-olds coming this year. I think
that's awesome. That's so awesome.
I think I probably have 10 yearlings that I put in training. Probably some of them I shouldn't have, but I just, like I said, I kept some mares that I wanted to keep. I think that's going to be a pretty good
Who does a lot of your 2-year-old work?
Royce Stockhop work. He'll train something for me always. He's got Dre's
great guy brother. Too. I love Royce.
Yeah, he's a good guy, real good guy. He's got Dre's full brother. He trained the Stevie Shelby's Kitty. And Dan Edwards has been riding
Yeah,
2 or
he's
3
my neighbor.
for me a year.
Yeah.
He's got 3 this year for me. He rode a couple for me last year. Lefty started his. He started his from start to finish. I've got one with what's the guy's name? Zach Rogers.
Oh, Zach Rogers.
Yeah.
Yep. Louisiana, right?
Yeah. I put a test in Arquette King Cole with him. And then we've got Travis Stewart's got one.
Yes.
And Justin Chalmers got the Blue Mare we bought out of the sale.
Oh, yep.
So we've got, I don't know, there's probably 8, 10 there.
Boy, that Justin does a good job.
He
I'm
does.
proud of him too. I the last few shows we've been to, we've always been good friends, but man, his horses look amazing.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. That's so awesome.
I think my boy put one with Coulter Clem. He's got one with him.
He does an outstanding job too. His wife has run our brood mares for the last several years, and I've got a couple of colts that he had, and he does a great job.
Yes, sir.
Great job. That's awesome. And too, a lot of these guys don't understand how much it matters for us as trainers, for guys like you that are big breeders, just to have those horses that are bred every, because without horses getting bred to these good mares and studs, we don't have nothing to ride.
Yes, sir.
And obviously our breeding the last several, since I've been in this, has gone every year. It just seems like everybody's starting to breed more and more and more and more.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know, when back in when I first started 2017, you always had this couple standout horses that are winning a lot. Now you never ever show you go to, there's somebody different that rolls
that
up
you
the
don't
top.
know.
Yeah, that you don't.
And
I
you're
hadn't
like,
seen this horse.
dang,
Where'd this horse come from?
It's a nice
you know,
horse.
It's a nice horse. But it's changed a lot. It's a whole lot tougher sport than what it used to be.
It sure is.
I think so, in my opinion. But
and there's so many new people.
Yes.
Lots of new people. Just like you saying, the Theorem Ranch, y'all are partners on a horse. And they just bought the Teton Ranch over by where I live, and they seem like great people.
Very good people. I met both of them, and then we've had several conversations. They're some very good people. I think they're going to be very good people
awesome
for the
for the
business.
industry. That's what I was going to say too. They seem awesome.
Yes, sir.
So, and boy, we need more of y'all that are excited. I mean, I know y'all fuel our fire for guys like me, you know, and it's cool to watch.
Y'all fuel our fire.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I get that too, you know, like
it's a two-way street.
Because Big A, like you got to feel the same things I do about Big A, you know, like
Yes, sir.
anytime he opens his mouth, I want to listen.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's awesome. That's
I always
so
try
cool.
to be all ears.
All ears.
Yep.
And isn't that the truth in any industry, right?
Yes, sir.
Like you saying, starting out in the concrete business, you started out working for them,
Yes, sir.
and then you ended up owning it,
Yes, sir.
and then selling it, and now your family's still, your one boy's still working for them. That's pretty neat. He's liable to end up owning it.
I don't know about that. It's grown to a little
It's
bit
big. It's big. I knew it was big.
It was big then, but I mean, it's owned by a publicly traded company now, out of Houston, and they bought all these. They're like a Christmas tree. They bought all these companies underneath them. And I mean, it's whenever I sold it, stock was at $7 a share, and I think it closed at $4.80 yesterday.
Ooh.
So it's pretty.
It's doing good.
It's massive.
It's doing good.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty awesome. Well, that's what Taryn, when he told me, hey, ask him about the concrete business. I'm like, what concrete business? Well, when I got to investigating, I'm like, that concrete business, got it.
Yeah, it was
it's amazing.
It blessed me for sure. I mean, I was lucky to be involved in it, and lucky to be able to take the deal. But when I sold it, take the deal we did. I mean, I took 20% stock in it, and still own some stock today. It's when I first sold it and took some stock, they told me it wasn't worth the paper it was written on because there wasn't no trading on it. It wasn't no nothing. And I think it traded yesterday at 480.
That's pretty amazing.
Share.
And
I play with a lot. I do a lot with the stock market.
you do, I was about to ask, do you play in the stock market a lot?
I do. I play quite a bit. You know, I'll get a tip from somebody, just a tip from a buddy. Hey, you need to take a peek at this stock. Hey, you need to take a peek at this. And
you do your own
for a long time, I
investigate.
did my own. I do my own checking into it, and I've got a financial advisor that helps me quite a bit with it. But I'll go in and look at it, and I used to sit. We'd buy and sit on it for a while and do this long-term game, and now I've kind of been playing with. I've traded my old company stock about 3 times. It gets way on up there, and we sell it because it's a roller coaster. That one is. I mean, it may be down 100 points over a week, and
then back up.
we'll be right back buying again.
So day trading.
Yeah, I sold. I don't know, 6 weeks ago, the majority of it, and I bought back 2 weeks later, and I should be selling today. so
that's awesome.
But I love it. It's just another little gig I do. I mean,
Yes,
I don't
sir.
spend a lot of time with it, but it's interesting.
Right.
I always think, how the economy goes or how the world goes. We go to war tomorrow and that stock market's down. So I kind of try to keep some on the sidelines just in case, because I've been in 2008 when that bust. I was in the stock market a little bit, and you couldn't get out of it fast. You couldn't get out of it fast.
Couldn't get out.
No.
You were stuck.
Yeah. I mean, you had never made the money, but it showed on paper that you made a lot of money. But if you never sell it, then you
ain't got it.
You don't got it. So really, honestly, at the end of the day, it wasn't nothing but time. I mean, if you're able to get out back at even or, stick it out. But
It was a good learning lesson.
it was a very good learning lesson for the future.
So in that, like on trading earlier, you said, I like to see everybody every day. Us talking about that concrete business and how it got so big, being with it and involved every day, it takes that to grow something that successful, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah. I mean, you get
in any business.
Yeah, any business. I mean, you put time in it. Like I said, there for the last couple of years, I was chasing the shows with them, but before that, I was there lots of hours
Countless.
a day. I mean, we'd be there 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning till 5, 6
I was
o'clock.
about to say, concrete
every single
guys are
day.
like horse trainers.
And I'm big on this. I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. You're really only as good as what your people are underneath you. You got great people; they make you look good. I'm not the smart one. I mean, I may just steer that boat in the right direction, but really, you're only as good as what all the people are underneath you.
Right. Surround yourself with
Surround
great
yourself with the
team
best people, and I've learned that since day one. Since the day I got in the concrete business, if you got people that don't care, they're never going to care. I mean, you
ain't gonna build it into them.
No, you ain't gonna build it into them. They got to be careful from get go. Build that good, perfect team, and I've learned too that everybody's got to get along. Everybody's got to have the same goal or want the same for the company, and
everybody
that's
have
why I've
everybody's
always
back.
built everything I've did. Is I tried to surround the best people. I mean, I didn't know anything when we got in the commercial business. We didn't know anybody, and I had a partner in the concrete business, but he was come from the ready mix business. My dad had worked for him, and when we bought it in 2007. He wanted to get in the commercial, and I said, I don't know much about commercial. I can tell you everything about residential, and I feel 100% comfortable. I think you also sometimes got to stay in your own lane and do what you do and do what you do best. He wanted to leak out in the commercial, so I don't know nothing about it. I don't care nothing about it. I said some of those jobs get complicated, and I said you can lose as much in one day as you made in a month. And we went out and hired 2 or 3 of the best guys in the commercial business we could find, and to be honest with you, that's probably what sold my company. And commercial is not very profitable because you got these large companies that they may be building a 3-year job, and they're in a low 6 months. They don't have much to do. So what do, they go out and pick up all these small jobs that we were doing. We were doing parking garages, apartments. And they buy them just to keep their people
Just
busy.
just
Keep them
so they ain't got to
employed.
lay their
So they got to
people
lay them
off.
off, and there's not a lot of money in it. Residential was very profitable. If residents at the right times, I think it's pretty tough right now because I think the company now is pouring 400 or 500 homes a month.
Wow.
When we were at one day pouring 1,000, thousands not a number you want to be at. At the time, you wanted to be about 800 or so, like that. I mean,
Right, somewhere in between.
because 1,000 was tough.
To manage.
400, I know pouring 400 homes sounds like crazy, but with the overhead you got and everything, you need to pour at least that to be able to be profitable.
Wow.
And the number was about 800. It was manageable, and everybody could, not be on overload all the time.
Right. But that's so true. Like you saying, that's probably how I sold my company is I had the right guys.
Yes, sir.
And they make it work.
For sure.
And that's, it's just like the horse deal. You have the right team. It'll work if you put the right horses with the right trainer and the right owner. And I've said that from the get-go. It takes from the ground up, from the stall cleaner to the guy riding it or owning it.
100%.
Everybody's got to be on the same page. And
Stall cleaners are tough right now.
That's right. That's right. They
They're
sure
tough
are.
to good one or one to keep around. It's tough to find.
That's very true. That is
I never
very
thought
true.
I would be saying that, but that's true.
And it is a huge necessity too.
Yes,
you know, I told somebody I've had my guys for 10 years nearly, and I told them they're such a blessing because if I leave for a show, I know them horses are getting taken care of, you know, and I'm
Yes,
like,
sir.
well, if they ever left, I don't even know who I'd call.
I got Nikki that runs my breeding a little bit. Her Nikki Weber, and then Kelly Good, Allie Good's mother, keeps all my brood mares up in my Oklahoma ranch. I purchased Bill Riddle's old place,
Yes.
and she's great, very good with horses. I've got Jorge that runs all my yearlings and folds out, does some of my fold out. Nikki does some folding out. He's as good as they come too. Got a good team.
Absolutely. That have been in the industry and
Yes.
they know the people.
If you go to try to replace them, that'd be tough.
You're right. It
Yes,
would
sir.
be. That's
Same way in the
awesome.
hay business. I mean, I got my boy that runs hay, and then I got Brian that runs he runs the mechanic and all that stuff, and I got Juan on the cattle side. If we didn't have all those people, I wouldn't. There's no way I'd be able to do all this.
Right. Well, I know your hay guy. I've talked to him before, and Johnny on the spot, and
Yes,
it's
sir.
like, I honestly, he made our deal so simple and fast, and everything from the time it was unloaded, I was like, dang, this Billy. I'm like, this hay business is top notch. I mean, it was just awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's cool. And what about like on the hay business? Do you sell to stores and stuff too, or do you just
Yeah, we
kinda
sell
local?
to their local, our dinner store. We sell that store. We sell to 2 or 3 other stores. They've been on me about wanting to buy a bunch of box trucks and fill them up and store them at the places, but I haven't done it yet. I've teeter-totted in a little bit, but I hadn't fully committed to it. But we do it. We do sell to probably 5-6 different stores.
Right.
Dinner's probably our largest. They go through a lot
They
of
do
hay.
go through a lot of hay. That's a big store up there.
I've probably got 25, 30 customers, horse customers. That
Right.
We go through a lot of hay. They go through a lot of hay. I deliver direct loads to them. So
And that's something else that's not talked about in our country, but it's hard to find somebody that you trust
yes, sir.
to
Very-
buy horse hay. You know,
for sure.
we're feeding these things to sometimes $1 million horses. And it's awesome to me to know that somebody like you is on the backside of the hay program saying, this is standard. This is what we got to make.
I won't buy what I won't feed to my own. That's
Right.
kind of the way I look at it. And then, I won't buy anything that I won't feed to my own. I've got several different growers that we got the grower in Arizona. We've got a grower in Utah. We've got a grower in Colorado. Got 2 or 3 growers in New Mexico. Tough right now. I know nobody's probably seen this yet, but it's coming. There's not a lot of good alfalfa out there anymore. Not
At all.
this year, because there's all dry last year. And what wasn't dry towards the end of the year. And a lot of it got rained on the first year. Well, nobody wants strapped hay. When nobody wants, it's tough to find. The good hay is not around. I mean, I luckily spoke for a whole bunch. I probably make it to the first cutting this year, but good quality hay that you and I want to feed is not.
It's hard
available.
to get.
I mean, it's hard to get. And from my understanding, luckily I'm in good with 2 or 3 real good growers in New Mexico. Wyoming is dry, and I guess they hadn't had much snow. Utah's the same way. North Dakota's that up there in Idaho hadn't had a lot of rain, from my understanding. They hadn't caught a lot of water to irrigate these places, so they say
And
next
that's where a
year's gonna
majority
be,
of our hay comes from.
They said
too.
next year's going to be real bad.
So what's your take on as far as like alfalfa cubes to alfalfa hay? Do you have anything on that?
I don't know. I mean, I feed a little bit of cubes, very little myself. It's just so much more cost.
Right.
We do also sell cubes. We'd sell some cubes. I have cubes made out of Utah, and they're delivered to me direct, or to the customer direct. We've got a very good source up there. I don't know. I talked Big A into feeding all of his. He wanted to cube all the time, and I talked him into feeding his yearlings and some of, I guess, his horse at home. He'll go through a semi-load a month, and he told me the horse looked great, a lot
Great
better
on that hay.
So
that was my thing. I changed to cubes when we started showing and going down the road a lot, because it was hard for me to find well, I was nervous all the time about you get somewhere and, well, shit, I'm going to have to haul a trailer of hay to the show. And to me, I thought the cubes made it a little more middle of the line. Like I didn't have to worry as much. Right. Yeah. But I love good hay. There's nothing like good hay.
Graham starts what? They move in tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're making a couple of deliveries to Graham tomorrow.
Of hay.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We got 3 or 4 customers that have us deliver. Is it probably profitable? No, but if that's what they want, that's what we do.
Absolutely right. Well, and that's what's awesome about you is like, well, it's just like this. You coming up here, man, I appreciate your time because I know you got so many different things you could be doing than talking to me right now. But that's so our community, right? Is like you, like I doubt it's profitable, but hey, they got 2 trailer loads of hay up there if they need it. Yes, so that's pretty neat.
Yes, sir. I've enjoyed it. I'm glad to be here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
glad to help out a good guy like old Porterfield.
Well, there's a lot of people that'll argue with you on that one.
Come on now.
But I'm working on it. I'm getting better all the time. Well, I sure appreciate it, and I sure appreciate your time. And we love your story. We love what you do for our whole industry, really, not just us that know you. A lot of people that don't even know you, you do a lot for. And I think that's awesome. I would like to ask, is there anything you want to leave the world with? Like any saying, do you got any quote or saying that you live by or, anything? Could be a Bible verse, anything.
Somebody asked me this yesterday. Somebody asked me this yesterday, and I told them, I said, I don't remember how the conversation started, but treat others the way you want to be treated, the way you expect to be treated. I want to treat everybody exactly the way I would want to be treated. If you treat them bad, you're going to be treated bad. If you treat them good, you're going to be, hopefully they'll return and come back and treat you good. So I've always lived by that.
Man, that's so
I don't know if that's good, bad, but that's what I try to live by.
Well, it's in the Bible, so I bet it's good.
Yep.
I love it. Well, man, I thank you a bunch. Like this has been awesome and can't wait to see all to come. There's still so much to come. That's what's awesome about it. And wish you all the best of luck at Cattleman's and the Futurity and everywhere else this year.
We need all the luck we can have.
Yes, sir.
Especially with the cows nowadays.
That's right. Yeah, that's a whole nother subject too.
Sir.
We're about to be short on all that too, ain't we?
For sure.
Golly.
For sure.
That's getting crazy.
I got a cousin that runs up there in Oklahoma. He runs a yard up there in Oklahoma, the big sale company, and I asked him what he thought. I always ask him at least once or twice a month, what do you think? What do you think? He told me yesterday that his opinion, I guess Mexico started building their own packing plants.
Oh, wow.
And so if that deal don't open up, they're killing a bunch. He mentioned that Lubbock was shutting down.
I heard
their big
that.
feed yard, and another one shut down. Announced Monday they're shutting down somewhere north of Lubbock. So I don't know. I just keep keeping as many heifers as I can keep. We kept probably 150 this year to max back in. I don't know if I'm going to ride in the deal or wrong in the deal, but I think we're going to need them.
No, my father-in-law runs a spade ranch, and talking to them guys, I mean, they're like, we're going to need all the calves we can raise.
And it's finally good for the rancher. I mean, you can make profit off of it now. It's tough whenever calves bringing.
It's insane.
I know that sounds $2 a pound, but I saw calf yesterday bring $7.95 a pound. Didn't weigh but 250, but he brought $7.95 a pound. I mean,
well, my great sale barn story this week is I sold a Jersey bull yesterday in Comanche, Oklahoma, that weighed 710 pounds for $2.35.
Oh wow!
A Jersey bull that we'd been roping, and my buddy that I send him up there to, that I buy him from, he says, I can't believe you didn't cut them things. And we had, shying them, rope them when they're calves, but then we let them grow and we team rope them when they're a little older, the better ones.
Yeah.
And we keep them around there. Some of them train, they're great to train them horses on. And I sent them up there and he said, they're going to kill you, him being a bull. And after that sale, I said, man, I raised some nice ass Jersey bulls. That's not really what I wanted to be known for, but hey, if they're going to pay me $235 for a 700-pound Jersey bull, I'm in.
For sure. It's definitely good times.
It is, isn't it? That's awesome.
I don't understand. Everybody complains about paying $7 for a pound of hamburger meat, but that first time I went to Starbucks in a year, and yesterday it was $7.95 for of
A chai latte.
10 minutes
Yeah.
worth of sipping. Maybe that's, you know.
That's right. Well, Billy, I appreciate it, and I don't want to take up any more of your time, but thank you so much
I
for coming
appreciate
in.
it.
Yes, sir.